I should be. I should be live. Am I live? Yes! Good. Alright. Hello. It's been a little while. It's not been that long since I did Ocarina of Time, but it's been a little while. Nope, my phone audio's on. I was gonna say, I hear a little bit of a noise. That's my phone. Alright. No, whoops. Going the wrong way. This way. But you may have noticed that there's a new sprite on the side of my webcam right now, sitting around my microphone. I got impatient. So I guess to sum it up, I did not have many other sprites in my folder. We call them concept art sprites when they're just sprites that are literally just, you took the concept art and shrunk it down. So it's a nice framework to make sure you have the right silhouette. And you can get a little bit of the details from it, but most of the details you're placing based on relative positions within the silhouette. But I also just put any sprite that I'm planning to work on soon into that section. Including ones that just need touch-ups. So I guess to put it simply, the total number of concept art sprites that I had. Oh, hello. Thank you. That sounds good. Alright. Okay, goodbye. Did it explode in midair? That exploded in midair. You turd. I think if I set this here, that comes up. Stupid chicken. Don't stand in my bombs. Alright. This is the jumping point. Don't need any beans from you, sir. Ah, that did not work. Not where I wanted to be. Oh, I know where to cross now. I'll get you. Oi. There we go. Now, close enough. Ooh. No. Can I do this now or no? Oh, there are frogs. Got it. Yep. I only knew that was a thing starting with a 3DS version. I didn't even know that those frogs were there. Like, I just didn't have the situational awareness, I guess, to have seen them. But yeah, they are there. But yeah, so I guess to finish up what I was saying about the sprite that's, you know, to my side here. I really only had a few, like, full brand new sprites in there. Being the one or I guess the two, like, the male and female versions of Tindra that I did on stream on Saturday. And then their evolved forms, which is Chillinx, which also has a male and a female form. So this is Chillinx male's form. And you can see I went a little lighter in color than I did with the other one. I just wanted to add some variety and some, you know, some wackiness, you know? Give it a little pizzazz. Yeah, that's 300. Yeah, there's nothing I want here. Toss your rupees. I'm a professional rupee grabber. As a child, this, like, screwed me up so much. I, like, was really bad at it. But yeah, I honestly didn't have many sprites left to do. Which is, like, both a bit of a, like, exciting thing, because that meant I was able to put that batch into our game's files and stuff like that. But it was also a little sad, because, like, we literally, at this point, have nothing else. Like, there's I think, 3 total sprites I can touch up still. Oops, not him. That I just hadn't put into that folder because they weren't made by the time that I'd started doing stuff like that. So it was just like... Oh, didn't mean to do that, but... Alright. See where that red one went. Yeah, didn't do them all, but I didn't mean to, and now I've filled my rupees anyway, so I'm good. But yeah, like, I don't know, there's just those 3 left, and there's more sprites that we could do, we just need art for them, really, at this point. But, like, we haven't been focused as much on the project, so it's just like, you know, it's kind of getting to this point where it's almost done. As far, or at least as done as it can be until, you know, we go through and, like, do a bunch more, like, art-wise and stuff, and that's a little bit bittersweet, but it's still pretty exciting, because it's like, you know, we've done so many sprites, and that's just cool. And like, there's definitely more sprites that could be retouched, because there's a lot of sprites that just were from really early in the project, and we weren't very good at at everything yet, and we hadn't, like, I don't know, done as much to make them look as nice as they could. And now that that's like a thing that we could do, you know, there's the ability to kind of go back and retouch a bunch of those. I know I especially would want to do the starters or something, kind of touch them up, make them look a little nicer. Their palettes are fine. It's mostly just like the technique used and all that could be sort of improved upon. But yeah, I definitely want to do that at some point. Just, you know, retouch those starters. I think especially the ones, the line that I did has some ones that I'd like to retouch, just because I think they could be a lot better than they are. I think they're not in as appealing a state as they could be. Due to my lack of skill when I did them. You know, it's been like 6 years pretty much since that project started. Like, literally we passed the 6-year anniversary of the project pretty recently. And so some of those sprites are literally like 6 years old. I've been spriting now for 6 years. And like, I could rework those to make them a little bit better, which is why it's like something I'd like to do at some point. Alright. Well, only 15 minutes and I got to here already. While talking too, which is impressive, because I get much worse at this game when I'm talking, I've learned. Into the depths. How exciting. Magic jar. Yeah. This place as a kid gave me nightmares. Which, like, I guess shouldn't be all that surprising. This is a pretty disgusting and terrifying place, but... Hi, Rudo. Goodbye. Yeah, I think I have to go help her first. Woo. I am. I like the sassy pose I've struck. It's great. Yeah. Excuse me. Gotcha. Bloop, 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 bloop. My phone keeps dropping out of the chat. Alright. There's pots up here. Oh. Success. Alright. I need to switch off of this so that I don't accidentally place that. I think this put Rudo at the start of this room. Or does it put her back over here? Oh, it puts her back over here. all these bubbles are back. Now. Come along. Oh. I tried. Okay, so now I take her this way. Then through here. Then I think down this way. That's why I brought her with me. No. Get one. Yeah, I guess this is the easier way. Yeah. Oh, a heart. Wow. All right. Alright, let's go, Roto. Let's not go that way. Yeah. Not that way either. Let's go this way. Ow. Come on down. Why is my YouTube app so broken right now? I just want to be able to see the chat. Alright. Yes. Success. All right, come along. Compass is so helpful for knowing where I am in this room. I think I cut the one that was over here. Right? Yeah. And now, to Faith's tail. I think this is the blue tail. Running. Now. Going this way. Gotcha. You're a feisty one. Alright, that's all three. Ah. I think the green tail was in this one. He demands to return home. What? Yeah. Does he just pick a random direction each time? No, he's always gonna go this way. Oh, you turned around on me. All right. Giving up. Ruto, are you here? I think Big Octo is not a great fight. No. It could have been way better. But I mean, it's the first time they'd tried Zelda in 3D, and so like a lot of the bosses and mini bosses are a little awkward at times. I think probably one of the best, and part of the reason it's been so long standing since this game, has been like Lizalfos. I think Lizalfos were really well done. Water temples is much easier in 3D. Like in Ocarina of Time 3D, the water temple boss fight is just baby easy. But in the... Is that a... Like... Oh, I can set her or a box on it and then open that door. I'm just gonna set a box. Maybe she's through that door? I don't know. I'm gonna set a box. Shadow Temples is pretty easy. You just wear the hover boots while he's slapping, and it stabilizes you a bit more. Though it's not easy. Like it's even in 3D, that one's pretty tricky still. It's just easier. You. That's right, because I have to go up now, and then I have to hit the switch. Yeah, you do need... Yeah, you need Epona to be able to get the actual, like, Bogoron sword. Because I think there's, like, some timed elements to that, where it's like you have to get something to someone within a certain time limit, and the only way to do that is on horseback, unless you can run backwards there fast enough, but I don't think you can. She's not... Rutella's, I think, canonically a descendant of Ruto, but they're not the same one. But Rutella's design is partially influenced by Ruto's, and her name as well. Hit me. I'm a slippery little man. Gotcha. I felt like I got one less than I could have. Well, that was a fast dungeon. I did that in 25 minutes. Let's rise. This dungeon in Master Quest is nuts. Cause you like, there's one moment where there's like a puzzle that literally doesn't happen any other time, where there's just a cow like stuck in a wall, and the cow's head's like sticking out, and you have to shoot the cow with the slingshot, and it acts as a switch to drop like it's like some sort of thing you need. I don't remember exactly what. But it's just, like, so weird. It's such a goofy and wacky, like, way to progress. I think it literally like unlocks a door or something. No spoilers for the Tears of the Kingdom one. I've heard a few things on it, but I've not heard any details on it, and I would like to go into it uninformed, I guess. Breath of the Wilds, though, I will admit, a little underwhelming. I think they wanted you to feel like there was a reason to complete all of the Divine Beasts, and they really just made it too much of a good reason. You know, the idea of you skip phase 1, phase 2 is half done at the start, so you just beat half of the fight, and then phase 3 is just a cutscene. Phantom Hourglass is weird. I think it's a very well done game. Like, I think it's one of my favorite games as far as like it uses its unique hardware in the most interesting and engaging ways possible. But like as far as the game goes, it has a lot of weak points. Like I think the bosses are absolutely amazing. I think they're some of my favorite boss designs. Because like every single one, when I fought it, I was like, oh, the DS! Like, I feel like Spirit Tracks has a lot less of that, but is just a better Zelda game on the whole. But I really like Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. They're just weird. They're definitely best played on original hardware or on a Wii U. Because, no, I didn't want to do this. I hate B. And he went, oh yes, A. Ow. No, it's gonna be close. I can't believe I actually nailed that. I'm gonna go see what he gives me. Or does he just say like, oh, good job, you got all the money? He probably just says, oh, good job, you got all the money. But yeah, I think I tried emulating Phantom Hourglass. It was one of the first DS games I tried emulating, and it does not play well emulated. Like, you need to use like a touchscreen and stylus to play that game. Yeah, that is this Link, actually. That is in... Oh, okay. I guess that was it. You just keep the money. Nope, I don't want to. I would like to roll off this waterfall. Yeah, he's, the Hero's Shade is specifically the Link from Ocarina of Time who gets sent back in time at the end. So in the ending where he gets sent back to being a child and like Navi leaves and he's just like all alone and he tries to find her, Majora's Mask ensues, he never finds her, and then eventually he decides, well, I'm going to try to be a hero because no one knows that I'm a hero, so I'm going to try to like do some heroic stuff. So he goes ahead and like tries to be a hero, but never quite gets to the same. Like he never gets to the level of like herodom that he feels that he needs and deserves for having literally saved the world, but going down in basically complete just like he's not gonna be in the history books. He's just there. So like it's a really tragic one. No, Link's not dead in Majora's Mask. That's just a silly fan theory. Because if he was dead in Majora's Mask, he can't be the hero's shade in Twilight Princess. Because he has to grow to be an adult to become a Stalfos. If Link had died, he would like die just lost in the Lost Woods or whatever. He would have become a Skull Kid. And that would have been that. I was like, why is it so dark? It's not... And then I was like, oh yeah, because cutscene time. Cutscene. But yeah, like, Link is alive in Majora's Mask. Whether or not Majora's Mask is, like, real, like, whether or not Termina is a real place is something that, like, is open to, like, a lot of debate. But, like, when it comes to, like, whether or not Link's alive, like, he's just alive then. Stout Children, I don't know that they ever explicitly say what they are. There's old skeleton men, but they're like weird skeleton men. They're really doofy looking. They don't look human. So I don't know if they would have been human at any point. Like Stalfos obviously were. And like a name like Stout Child makes you think like, oh, maybe they're like kids, but they're not. So I don't know. Yeah, that... the first time you hit that point in the game is nuts. And then they try to, like, do it in Hyrule Warriors, which was cute. Like, I thought it was, like, a cute little idea. But it was just really funny, because I'm like, anyone who's playing Hyrule Warriors, because they're, like, a big Zelda fan, and they've, like, played Ocarina of Time, and they've played, like, Twilight Princess, and they've played, what else was in there? Skyward Sword was in that one. Or in the 3DS and the Switch ones, like Wind Waker as well. Like, the people who've played those games, they know that, especially the ones who played Ocarina of Time, like, they know. That's... So when that happened, I was just like, oh, so that's Zelda. Tee hee hee. A fun fact about the Forest Temple, or is, I guess, it might be a theory, I'm not entirely sure if that's a fact, so I'm going to rescind my statement, fun fact. Fun theory about the Forest Temple, maybe fact, but theory, is that the reason it's a castle in design is that it was one of the first ones designed, and the original premise for this game is that basically you take Hyrule Castle, like Ganon's version of Hyrule Castle that he has taken over, and you go to different themed rooms where each room is a dungeon. And they kept that idea, but they made it just the framing for like the final dungeon. So you're not, like, entering these worlds from his castle. But the worlds were going to be, like, more castle-y. So, like, as a result of all of that, you know... Like, Hyrule Field is a bit of a... Or, sorry, Hyrule Castle would be, like, kind of... Mario 64-esque, Banjo-Kazooie-esque. You're like going to these like worlds from inside the castle, but like the worlds would be a little bit castle-y. I need my ocarina. Oh, wait, I need to grab the other. I'm a fool. I forgot that I have to grab that one. Groose is not a Gerudo. He predates... Well, I don't know that he predates the Gerudo, but he's a Hylian. He just looks kind of Ganondorf-y. I don't know if that was intentional, but... it's possible. I could see them having, like, the idea to make the Gerudo kind of like ancestors, or I guess descendants of like Groose, but I don't know. I feel like that's not too likely, because I think he returns to the sky, I think, at the end. I don't know if they ever actually discuss like where the Gerudo come from. Oh yeah, the gold gauntlets are necessary. I forget what he does when you collect all of the Poes. That's too much for just like a heart container piece, but I can't remember what it is. Like it's some sort of like thing. One of the craziest things is, I think, canonically speaking, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are the only Zelda games to have a separate Ganondorf from the one in this game. Because that Ganondorf was just actually, like, born to the Gerudo at that point. Well, this Ganondorf, like, was born, you know, so much further ahead, because those games, at least from what I understand, like, take place, like, at the very end of the timeline, if the timeline remains consistent. I know I am. I'm back. It's so funny, having played so much of this game, and like my family knowing that I really loved it and stuff, I got so many Ocarinas as a kid. I think I owned like 2 different ones, and I actually now have one. I don't know where I have it, but it's like in like a box. It's like Ocarina of Time themed, and it's like an ocarina someone made to like kind of resemble the Ocarina of Time. So like I have that somewhere amongst my belongings. Don't remember where, but I do have like basically a replica Ocarina of Time. Pew, 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 pew. Well, only some of the Zoras are shark-like, though I guess rays and sharks are closely related because there are a lot of ray ones. But King Dolphin, he actually has a whale, which I think that one is pushing it. Because that's a mammal, that ain't a fish. It's like, I can understand, Muzu. I can understand Yona. Because they're rays. Like, the rays are very closely related to sharks. Sidon's a shark. I think Mifa's a shark. Like, all the other Zoras are, like, vaguely fishy. And then there's King Dorephan, and he's just, like, a whale man. And it's like, dude, why are you a whale? The Master Sword. The Master Sword looks so goofy in the N64 model. I love the design of the Master Sword, where it's like, this like long sword that like goes in before it goes into the hilt. Like, that's just such a cool design. And then in the N64 model, it's just so chunky and fat and wide. It's like so far removed from what we associate with the actual Master Sword. I held the keys. I believe that's supposed to be the windfish. Because there's the three Leviathan skeletons. One is supposed to be the windfish. One is obviously a Levias from Skyward Sword, and the other is, I believe, supposedly supposed to be the Ocean King. So it's like, I don't know how well they nail that one. Yeah, there's my man, the original. Look at that guy changing my pants, giving me pants. I didn't have pants as a kid. He said this kid needs some pants. And he gave me a pair of pants. He made them himself from his own mustache hairs. He's just such a wonderful, wonderful man. I would love an Ocarina of Time, like, HD remake. Yeah, that was a plot twist I did not expect. I think I will say my favorite thing of the DS Zelda games is probably the music that's in Spirit Tracks. Spirit Tracks, I do not care for trains much, so like the overworld's just there. The bosses were like good, and like the temples were better designed and stuff, but like overall I thought the game was generally better, but I didn't care for the train theme. But the music. The music is so good. It's like just absolute banger soundtrack, like one of the best. I remember. What are you boys doing? What are you swearing? Get these swears. But like the music in Spirit Tracks is so good. Like I heard it on the anniversary CD that came alongside Skyward Sword, like the physical Wii edition, had a second disc, and that disc was like a CD of like an orchestrated like big symphony for Zelda, and there's like a medley that has music from across the whole series, and there's like this one part that I'm like, this is so good, what is that? And it's the main theme from Spirit Tracks, and that like blew my mind. Oh, nice. Well, a happy early birthday. So the final boss in Phantom Hourglass is Bellum, which is kind of his own thing. But like, you fight him in a few different phases, the final phase of which he's fused with Lineback. And like, I think in some degree of like phantom armor. It's like Phantom Bellumback or something like that. And then with Spirit Tracks, it's again its own thing. That's Malladus, and Malladus is so cool. Like, very cool boss idea. Didn't care as much for his like demon train form, but again, I don't care for trains that much. It was okay, like the train theme. Yeah, I think Pokemon Z should have happened. 100%. I think Delta Emerald, I think the Delta episode in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire was fine. I just think that they should have had some more Emerald features, like the Battle Frontier probably should have been in the game. But like, I was fine with it being stuck to Ruby and Sapphire. I mean, Fire Red and Leaf Green were remakes of Red and Green / Red and Blue. And like, you know, it didn't have any yellow features really, as far as I know. Like, obviously, like a big one was the follow mechanic. We didn't really see a yellow remake till Let's Go. So like, the idea of like Delta Emerald, I don't think we needed it. I think Z would have made a lot of sense, though. I think they should have done that before jumping to Sun and Moon. And Stars, yeah, Stars was definitely in development for a while, but I'm personally in agreement with like the group that thinks Stars was just kind of a sort of like, let's get comfortable working on the Switch type thing, and wasn't ever meant to be like an actual game that they were releasing. Like, I think that was always meant to be Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and I think that the rumor of Pokemon Stars absolutely tanked the success of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, even more than being that late in the cycle 3DS game. Yeah, and the post game could have been better. Though it was better than Sun and Moon's post game, so it had that going for it, I guess. Well, I guess I'm not planning to go too much longer. I'm not going to start my next temple. I plan to do Forest Temple next time. But I'm not going to go through and do all that today, I don't think. But, just going to catch up on chat real quick. Yeah, I'm not thinking that Unova's gonna come in at all in Scarlet and Violet. or Kalos. Because I know a lot of people wanted Kalos back. I don't think that's happening. I think because they announced that there's going to be a mini region in the first DLC. I think the second DLC is just going to have the school, and I think the school is going to be a Battle Frontier. I think Blueberry Academy is basically Battle Frontier, and that's what their plan is. Yeah, that's fair. I think it was interesting for them to pull the ones from the other, like, the original game universes, though. I think that was a fun idea. But yeah, it kind of meant that they got the worst designs for Archie and Maxie. Because they are way better in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Honestly, I don't think Zygarde would have needed to be in the Alola region for no reason whatsoever if they did a Z, because I feel like that was a concept they were going to do for Pokemon Z. They were going to have Kalos have a bunch of collectible pieces of Zygarde, and you would kind of carry Zygarde with you as like basically a thing from the start of the game. You just have Zygarde with you, and you would, like, over the course of the game make him stronger until you get to the end and you find out, like, oh, he's the big Zygarde, he's Zygarde complete form, and like, oh. I feel like that was what they were planning to do, and then they just didn't. I think before Alola gets a game like Legends Arceus, well, I think that would be really cool. I think the more important one to get that is, I think that would be really nice for, like, a region like maybe like Johto. I think Johto has a lot of interesting stuff that you could get from a game taking place in the past. But I think even more interestingly would be something like using a Legends Arceus type engine and like a Legends Arceus type concept and putting that into just like Unova or one of the other regions, or just straight up into its own region. Like, give us like a new game that is basically that Pokemon Legends Arceus style, but it's not a Legends game. Like, it's just we took those concepts that people really liked and brought them forward. I think that'd be interesting. %% form is kind of a weird one, yeah. Yeah, I'm curious to see what they do with the Scarlet and Violet DLC. Supposedly, Nintendo is going to be announcing their next console this year. It might release this year, but supposedly alongside Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's like DLC, I think specifically alongside the second DLC, they're supposed to be like launching a patch to Scarlet and Violet that is like for that new console, and that was from a leaker who said that he was working on the Scarlet and Violet graphics patch, who leaked the names of the ideas of the DLC, not the exact names because he didn't speak much English very well, but like leaked the names of the DLC roughly and like the idea of it, alongside that mention. So that's probably coming, unless that gets canceled, but that would be interesting. Possibly. It depends what they do. They could make the Switch obsolete, or they could make it more valuable by adding like a dock that actually has hardware in it. Who knows what they're going to do. I would kind of like that, because I like the Switch where it is. I think it would be nice to have a stronger one, like portably, but I don't know. Yeah. Hey Robert, thanks for stopping by. Unfortunately, I am here to the end of the stream for today. I just got to Adult Link. And then next time I stream this game, I'm going to be doing Forest Temple shenanigans, which will also mean getting the hook shot, obviously, so that I can hook shot my way around into the Forest Temple and Forest Temple it up. Which is also one of my favorite temples in this game, so that'll be. Yeah, so thank you so much if you joined me live or after the fact. But, you know, either way's cool with me as long as you had some fun. That said, I'm going to go do human things as humans do. And you probably should too. Switch lights are nice. Alright, goodbye!